In the beautiful and busy streets of London, where traces of history were found at every step, there was a young postman, James, who was famous for his honesty and good manners. James's job was to deliver letters, and he saw his job as a responsibility, not just a job. Every letter was like a story for him, someone's happiness, someone's waiting, and sometimes someone's pain. One day, James was given the duty of delivering letters to a new location, which was in the posh area of London, Kensington. This area was very luxurious and the residence of the rich. One of them was to deliver a letter to her at a beautiful mansion addressed to Miss Eleanor Hawthorne. When James arrived at the mansion's door, he knocked. A few moments later, the door opened and Eleanor appeared. She was very beautiful. The innocence of her face and deep green eyes silenced James for a moment. "Good morning," Eleanor said with a smile. "Good morning. This is a letter for you," James said with a slight hesitation. Their hands touched, and a strange feeling arose in James' heart. This series of letters from James continued, and the conversation between the two expanded with each meeting. James soon realizes that he is falling in love with Eleanor, but he knows that his world and Eleanor's world are very different. One day, James dares to express his love. It was evening, and Eleanor was watering the flowers in her garden. "Eleanor," James said hesitantly, "I want to tell you something." Eleanor looked at him questioningly. "I probably can't hide my feelings much longer. I love you." Eleanor's face turned red. "I feel the same way about you, James," she replied softly. But this beautiful moment of theirs could not last for long. Eleanor's father, Sir Henry Hawthorne, a stern and principled man, saw the two of them talking. "It's impossible," said Sir Henry angrily. "You are an ordinary postman, and my daughter is the heiress of an aristocratic family." Eleanor tries to reason with her father, but Sir Henry decides to separate them. Using their power and influence, they get James transferred to a small town far from London. The moment was painful for James. Before his departure, he visits Eleanor one last time. "I'm leaving," James said sadly. "I will never forget you," Eleanor said with tears in her eyes. James moved to town, but his heart remained in London. He kept Eleanor alive in his memory, and every letter he delivered reminded him of Eleanor. Eleanor, on the other hand, channeled her love into poetry. Years later, James returns to London, a better and successful man. He headed for Kensington, but when he reached Eleanor's mansion, it was deserted. Neighbors say that Sir Henry has died and Eleanor has moved to the village. James found out her address and reached there. Seeing Eleanor brought tears to James' eyes. She was standing in her garden, but her eyes had the same glint that James had seen years ago. "James?" said Eleanor with surprise and delight. "Yeah, I'm back," James replied. They both hugged each other. The love, which time tried to erase, was revived once again. Thus, James and Eleanor begin a new life together, where their love overcomes all odds.